is drink beer for breakfast. All I want to do is drink beer for breakfast.
KPAM News Time, 7:41. It's First Edition. Tim and Terry. It's time for the First Edition Beer Geek, which we do every Thursday morning here at 7:40. And one of the Beer Geek's favorite beer festivals is coming up this weekend. Joining us live, the hardest working person in Silverton, Oregon, Mary Ridderbusch-Shearer with the Oregon Garden Brewfest. Mary, welcome back to KPAM for your annual appearance.
Thanks, Tim.
Fingers crossed for the weather?
Yeah, and we've got tents, we've got plenty of cover, and we're in a forest this year, so there's lots of trees protecting people, so I think we'll be just fine.
Yeah, what's billed as the Northwest's most scenic beer festival has gotten a lot more scenic this year, hasn't it?
It really has, yeah.
So talk about the forest. This is where the festival is headed this year for folks who have been going to this festival for a number of years. It's either in sort of in the indoor area or last year it was out in a tent, but now it's kind of up the hill in the forest. Talk about the change.
Yeah, so for 11 years, we were in our Grand Hall Pavilion. It's a beautiful building, but there are just too many people who want to come hang out with us, and so we ran out of space. So then we added a tent, and then we thought, we're in a garden. Let's let people actually see how beautiful it is. So we moved out to our Rediscovery Forest. It's a little forest on our property, and we've got some great infrastructure out there, and it's also just a really beautiful setting, and it's weather insulated, which is a huge deal for us, as you were mentioning the weather a little bit earlier. So yeah, we decided to move out there and let folks drink beer in a beautiful forest.
And one of the best parts about this is that you can then wander around the garden beer in hand.
You can, and now that we're out in the forest, you can bring your dog.
Oh, is that new this year?
It is. Yeah, the whole garden has always been dog-friendly, but when we were in the building or, in the tent, it just really wasn't a good space to have pets. But now we have plenty of space, and everybody can bring their best friend.
The breweries themselves are going to be set up in booths throughout the woods, and I think that's going to lend a really kind of neat element of discovery to this whole festival. It's like, let's see who's over here, and let's see who's over there.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about the beer. You've got 120 beers from 60 different breweries. How do you go about selecting everybody who gets involved?
Well, we've been around. This is our 12th year, so we have a nice long list of people who participated in the past. We reach out to those folks, and each year, I try to keep track of all the new breweries in the area, and we reach out to all of those folks and try to get everybody involved. We skew pretty local, but we also have a few Washington and California breweries as well.
If you want to come with the family, what's the strategy for that?
Yeah, we are very family friendly. On Saturday, we allow minors up until 5 p.m., and on Sunday, all day. On Sunday, we do have some kids' crafts and activities, and on both days, we'll have root beer for the kids.
And the cost to get in and what that gets you?
Yeah, so it's $15 for a single-day pass. That gets you 5 tasting tickets and your glass. Garden admission is usually $14, so it's actually a screaming deal. And then if you want to come for all 3 days or even just 2, we have a multi-day wristband for $35, and that has 10 drink tickets and gets you in for all 3 days for the music and all the wonderful beer.
Yeah, if you've got the time, that is definitely the way to experience a festival like this, is go on more than one day.
For sure.
So for folks coming from Portland who may not have been down there before, what's the strategy for getting to the Oregon Garden and for parking?
Absolutely. So first of all, I should mention that we just had a couple of rooms open up yesterday. We have a resort on site. So if anybody's coming from Portland and thinks they might want to stay, they can always get online and check out OregonGardenResort.com. But if you're driving in, it's $5 to park on site. And if you don't want to pay to park on site, we have several shuttles running to locations throughout Silverton. And there are a couple of companies who are running shuttles from the Grand Hotel in Salem if folks are either driving in and would rather park in Salem, or if you live in Salem and want to come in that way.
You're sounding so chipper and upbeat this morning. Does it mask being stressed out that this is all going to get pulled off?
No, this is my 5th time around. I've mostly got the hang of it now.
Well, it's always great to talk to you. This is a fantastic festival. Got my fingers crossed, too, about the forecast. Sunday, Father's Day, looks like absolutely fantastic and might be the day to go.
Yeah.
Mary, thanks so much. Good luck this weekend. We'll see you soon.
Thanks, Tim.
Mary Ridderbusch-Shearer, Oregon Garden Brewfest, happening in Silverton tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. Everything you need to know, Facebook.com/The Oregon Garden, The Oregon Garden on Twitter, and use the hashtag OGBF, and I'll put up all those links on my beer blog at KPAM.com.